This is my storm chasing video and some of the TV coverage from April 21st, 2005, Neosho County, Kansas. This is a significant chase for a few reasons for me. One was that although by this point I had been chasing for 4 years and really started getting into tornadoes in 2004, so saw 21 I think that year, so I'd been on a lot of tornadoes by that point, and I had seen some that had hit populated areas and unfortunately killed people. Watched Howell, Nebraska tornado on May 22nd of 2004. Hit a few towns and killed at least one person that I remember. Albany, Missouri in 2004. Also watched that tornado hit a hospital and kill at least one person. And even earlier that year in 2005, I was on a tornado in Sedalia, Missouri that hit a trailer park and killed a lady. So I had been on plenty of tornadoes that killed people and claimed lives by that point, but in all those cases I was out ahead of the tornado, so you don't really come across the death and the destruction that it leaves in its wake. On this day in Neosho County though, I was behind the tornado and watched it hit a house from about a quarter mile away, and then was the first on the scene behind it after it moved out, and went up to the house and saw the victims, made sure they were all right, and called an ambulance. So it was my first time having up close interaction with kind of the destruction that they leave in their wake, so that's something I'll never forget and made it a significant day. And I did not shoot video of that when I went up to the house. Some people do. I just didn't seem like it was appropriate to me to put a camera in the face of the people that are crawling out of their house that have just been destroyed. So I did not take video of that, and I actually got chastised about it later by one of the national networks that I won't name for not shooting video of the victims in the house. But anyways, another reason it was a significant chase was that although I'd been chasing for K-Witch since early 2004, so I'd been doing local TV stuff for about a year and a half, I hadn't been on national television by this point. And this was my first time where I got national television coverage. Did an interview on Wolf Blitzer's show on CNN. The Weather Channel also bought the video. So that was a big milestone in my chase career, to get that national TV coverage. It was also a memorable chase for me because for the second time I really botched video of a major tornado event. I tried to manually set the white balance on my camera, the new video camera, literally as I was driving up on the storm. Just a horrible, horrible idea, and did not notice until after the fact that the video was bright white and there was no definition or clarity. So you'll see in the video where the house is getting hit, you can see the debris flying, but you can't see it very well, and the video gets real bright white. It was, it just totally screwed up the video, and I didn't figure that out until after the fact. So it was the second time that I'd really screwed up on a big tornado. I also did it earlier in 2004, what is now infamous video Scott McPartland got of a F3 just picking up a house by Attica, Kansas. I was sitting right next to him shooting video of the same thing. The only difference was I forgot to hit record on my camera that day, so I also screwed that one up. So several reasons that it is a real memorable chase for me. We'll check out the video. Alright, it's April 21st. Just left Wichita. It's 2 o'clock, or we left about 1:30. Going towards the 8 Center. Dry lines right along 35 and banks to the northeast.
was a house that got hit right out here on this road. I don't know if you guys care about that or not, but it looked like it took the roof and took about half the house away. Yeah, I gotta turn around and go back. Alright. Yeah, it looks like the tornado's dying out right now too. Alright, bye.
Welcome back. Sirens have been sounding across Tornado Alley, and right on the heels have been the storm chasers. Reed Timmer captured this twister on tape just as it touched down near Galesburg, Kansas. That's outside Parsons. It was among the worst of the storms late yesterday, destroying 3 farmhouses, damaging at least 2 more, and killing an untold number of livestock. Several tornadoes raked that region, sending residents and about 2,000 airline passengers in Kansas City into shelters. Here's Storm Chaser's Mike Gribble's view of one of those twisters. He's on the phone with us, joining us from Wichita. Mike, thanks very much for joining us. Talk a little bit about what you saw.
Well, yesterday there was the first tornado, which is the one you're showing on the screen right now, hit a house right there where you're seeing the footage on the south side of the road. It killed some cattle up the road a little bit farther too, and the second tornado, I didn't see any damage from that other than trees on the road and power lines down.
How close do you actually get to these tornadoes? It looks like incredibly dangerous potential work.
Well, it all depends upon the situation, but typically I usually get within a mile of them. On this day, I was on the back side, on the west side of the tornado. It was moving east, so I could get a little closer, but usually you're out on the east side ahead of the tornado, and you like to keep a safe distance.
Yeah, but sometimes those twisters take unpredictable turns. How close have they ever actually gotten to you?
Last year I had a couple that I got well within a half a mile, which is about as close as I want to get. But I had one, there's satellite tornadoes, which are weaker circulations that sometimes drop around on the outside of the big tornado. And I had one drop down in front of my car last year. It was probably about 75 yards away, and that was by far the closest call I had last year.
What happens, God forbid, if that tornado should actually get really close to you and you're still inside that vehicle, right?
Yeah, I would be inside the vehicle.
Would you be able to survive that kind of situation?
No, well, it all depends on the strength of the tornado, but hopefully I would like to think I'd never get myself in a situation where I could be in the direct path of the tornado. You typically try and stay southeast of it when they're moving east or northeast, so if it does jog a little bit back in your direction, you should have time to get out of the way.
Average people, you're trained and you've studied this and you know what you're doing and you've got the equipment in the vehicle, but if our viewers are watching this and say, hey Mike, that looks pretty cool, I think I'm going to go do that, what advice do you have for them?
Well, Well, first of all, there's a lot of work involved in it. You know, you get to see the highlight clips, but there's hours and hours. You know, 90% of the time you're doing work or seeing nothing. And without the proper training, it's really tough to know what you're looking at out there, and you could really put yourself in a bad situation. So it'd be wise not to go out until you studied up on it and know what you're doing.
You're in Wichita now. Are you going out to look for more tornadoes?
No, today it's too far down to the southeast. Looks like Florida and Georgia and Alabama, those areas will have the weather today. But no, I pretty much stay in the plains where you have the flat terrain and the good road networks.
I'm sure your colleagues in these other areas will be out looking for them. Mike Gribble, storm chaser, joining us from Wichita. Glad to see you're safe and sound, Mike. Thanks very much. Very dramatic pictures that you took. Mike Gribble joining us.
That was my April 21st, 2005, Neosho County, Kansas, storm chasing video and interview afterwards, CNN. Hope you like it. I know it's long. I think I am going to start doing narrations more, especially on these older chase videos I'm uploading, since there's nothing else there except for storm footage. There's not much talking, especially since I used to chase by myself a lot. One other point I wanted to make was, if you listen during the interview, Wolf Blitzer asks if there was a tornado that took an unpredictable turn and came at me, would I get out of my car? And it's like, well, no, I'm not going to get out of my car. Which is true. I mean, I'm a storm chaser. I'm driving from that thing. If I get hit by a tornado, I will be in my car till the bitter end trying to outrun it. But they ran a retraction after that, basically because Weather Service and all media outlets advocate that, you know, the safest place to be if you're getting to get hit by a tornado in your car is to get out and get down in a ditch at a low point, which is true. If you're going to get hit, you're better off being in a ditch than in your car, because the car is going to get caught by the wind. It's going to tumble and beat the hell out of it. But I think the fastest tornado on record moved like 72 miles an hour or something. My car is going to go faster than that. I'm a storm chaser, and we know which way the tornadoes are moving, or we think they're moving. So that's more geared towards the general public, which I guess I should have thought of that during the interview when he asked me the question, but he asked me, it was a shitty question to begin with. So yes, if you are going to get hit by a tornado, or if you don't know what you're doing, you are better off getting out of your car, getting in a low spot, than you are trying to run from it if you don't know what you're doing. But just personally, I'm not going to do it. I'd rather take my chances in the car and hope I get away rather than accepting the fate of getting hit by a tornado in a ditch. Anyway, I just thought I'd clarify that, but hope you liked the video, and if so, check back for more. Thanks.